Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and highest honors to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem Ramachach Wadash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father in Paleo Ancient Hebrew, and Yahweh Shai being the name of the one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, his name in Paleo Ancient Hebrew. Double honors to the apostle, elders of Great Millstone, and rule well, and salutations to you brothers that preach, teach, and prophesy his word in truth and sincerity. We put our lives on the line to bring you this raw and this uncut truth. All right, to you few brothers and sisters that may see this, Shalom, it's the brother Ariaga from the Grand Rapids, Michigan camp here with another nifty lesson. Let's get into it. All right, so we're going straight for the gusto. What does it say? All right, Trump, that Trump pump. All right, reparations for white people. So you got a lot of individuals that are running with that Trump pump right now, primarily Esau, Edom, so-called white man. All right, since Trump got elected as president-elect again, that same good old boy spirit and popped on him again. You did. And with that spirit on them, they've been out here acting hella reckless, okay? Even to the point, they taking laws and they changing them, which is nothing new because they do that all the time. But now they're changing them around. And one of the situations that I'm going to go through is just reparations for white people, all right? And if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native, and you still looking for reparations from the people that took you into captivity, all right, you're going to be waiting, okay? Because it's not happening. You got all this money to send to Ukraine, Israel, but somehow they don't have enough money to give you, Jake, at least a couple dollars. They always talking about 20 acres and a mule. Them motherfucker can't give you an acre and a promise of a mule, but they got enough. They're going to make enough money, as you're going to see in this video, to make sure Esau gets his reparations. For what? Anyway, it's like the scriptures say, Ecclesiasticus 10:1 or 10:2, as the people, so the ruler. So it's understandable why they carry this type of energy and why it's happening the way it is. But this is definitely leading into, another prophecy being fulfilled, okay? And 15th chapter of second Ezra, we're coming into that very closely now. As you can see, race riots being on the verge of happening. And why is it? Because, this devil Trump got in there and, he's for his people. He's showing out. He's doing his thing. And, hey, this place ain't got much longer to go. So it's just last hoorah. More power to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you like this: the energy that they're putting out there is not well received because this isn't the 30s and 20s and 1800s. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, especially the young ones, ain't playing that. You ain't playing that. You get to call them the N-word or get to acting up around them on some racial shit. It's not gonna end well for you. All right, and that's for sure, for sure. All right, so once again, it's going down. Trump is back in. It's still a lot of time left, or a good amount of time for something to happen in that sense, for them to, some world event, Black Swan event to take place. They can, something can happen and try to freeze the Constitution, and the transfer of power can be stopped, or, the money being changed over, or, some kind of terrorist, anything, man, which in return can lead to, a lot of angry Edomites and, ready to burn this place down, ready to act a fool. So anything can happen at this point, right? But nonetheless, one thing is for sure, we waiting on that mark of the beast RFID microchip. All right, because that has to come down before World War III is in full effect. Right now, do we have troops over there? We got soldiers over there. Are they getting active? They're getting active. But nonetheless, it's still considered a Cold War, but it's quickly heating up. All right, quickly heating up. But regardless of the matter, what I wanted to point out is, that good old boy spirit too, because they got that spirit on them, especially after Trump got announced. I'd rather Trump than Kamala. I didn't vote. I don't vote. Yet at the same time, Koala would have got in all them homosexuals and all these hoes. You know what I'm saying? They would have been out here really acting up. It'd have been really, really bad. Okay. But the outcome is still going to be the same in the end. This place is going to feel that heat. All right. And the Lord is going to come back for his elect. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into it. For white people? And getting their money's worth. Furthermore, I will direct the Department of Justice to pursue federal civil rights cases against schools that continue to engage in racial discrimination and schools that persist in explicit unlawful discrimination under the guise of equity will not only have their endowments taxed, but through budget reconciliation, I will advance a measure to have them fined up to the entire amount of their endowment. A portion of the seized funds will then be used as restitution for victims of these illegal and unjust policies, policies that hurt our country so badly. Colleges have gotten hundreds of billions of dollars from hardworking taxpayers, and now we are going to get this anti-American insanity out of our institutions once and for all. We are going to have real education in America. Thank you. Reparations. But for white people. This is America. You voted for it. Yes, you did. And as you'll find out in the next clip, how some of these so-called Negroes and, you know, that they voted for Trump are really feeling. They finding out real quick, you know, this ain't the ride that you thought it was. You thought you're going to get to, hey, I was with him. I was riding with him, you know. Hey, man, we made it. They looking at you like, who's this nigga, man? Okay? But the reality of it is, there is a separation, man. Okay? Every nation sticks to its light. And right now, they're really showing their true colors. And the closer we get to the downfall of this place, the more intense that's going to get. Because the worse things get in society, right? The more you see individuals, you know, show their true colors, show who they truly are in times of, you know, great famine, plague, war, whatever it may be, right? Civil unrest. All right, check this clown out right here. Family, I was on TikTok live, and a fellow Trump supporter said that all he needed was my vote. I'll never be part of the MAGA family, and that I'm black, I'll never be accepted, but he just got my vote. Nah, that's crazy. Like, I love MAGA Nation, I love the MAGA family, and that breaks my heart that someone would speak to me like that right after the election. So what you're experiencing is it's a two-phase system. If you engage in the first phase of it, the second phase of it is inevitable. From what you're saying, you are entering the second phase. We call that phase find out. You voluntarily participated in phase one. Fuck around. And now, phase two is coming along. It's time to find out. Hey family, I was on TikTok. Yeah, so you one of these clowns, man. I went out there and put in you wearing this red ass MAGA hat, and you know, you out here representing these so-called Negro, Latino, and Native, which we know outside of the so-called white man, Edom Esau, you know, the ones that voted for Trump the most were Latino males, okay? And they was right in front. So when how'd it go? It went, let me see if I still got the picture. All right, so with this nifty little thumbnail I made for a video, as you can see in the back, I chose it because of the polls. White men, 34%. White women, 37%. All right. For black men, 5%. Black women, 7%. Latino men, 6%. So you see for Trump, you see black men only voted 20%. Black women, 7%. Latino men, 54%. Latino women, 37%. All right. That 54% is beating out white women. Point being, you are not on equal grounds with this devil. All right, it's not happening. Okay, you thought that you was gonna be able to get a fair shake because you voted for him. Oh yeah, this is Trump. You got your MAGA hat on. You know, you a joke, dog. On some real talk, real spill. You a joke. You know, and if you don't realize that now, you're gonna find out the hard way. Let me bring out a scripture before I continue, because I got a couple of them nifty little videos. Hold on. This is Ecclesiasticus, also Rock 12, starting at 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. Right? Because when everything is going all good and everything is fine and dandy, or in normal sense, hey, everybody is in a up tempo mood, and they got these personas on, and they acting like they like you, or playing like they accept you, and they just tolerate it. They tolerate us, man. And that's a fact, and vice versa, because we have to, because of the law, right? And the scripture say, live peaceably if at all possible. All right. But it says, though he humble himself, uh, Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust has not altogether been wiped away. It's the same devil. You stop and you look at that blood soaked history, and see what happens. Everybody makes a deal or a treaty with them. They all regret it. That's the world. That's the reality of the things that people don't want to accept. They just want to be accepted. And hey, I don't want to get accepted by just any goddamn body. I want to get accepted by people that share the same values. My people that share the same values. And scripture say, can two walk together, at least they be agreed. In this case, definitely not. All right, set him not, and it say though he humbled himself, taking pictures with these rappers and black celebs, and they got all this positive stuff to say to him. Look, it's the same old devil. You understand? It says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And now at the last, remember my words and be pricked therewith. So remember these words, because they will come in and you'll get something started. And I've seen it from farms to companies or whatever. They'll come in and get cool as hell with Jake and then ease them out the way and take it over and claim it for themselves and cut Jake completely off. Okay? So the history says this devil is the same individual. And it's not going to change because that's who it is created to be. Somebody tell you who they are, believe them. All right? 13th verse. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent or any such as come nigh wild beasts? You see a snake charmer and shit, and he get bit, motherfucker be like, well, hey, I'm not surprised. Motherfucker shouldn't have been charming snakes, man. And Esau is that ancient serpent, okay? It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him and his sins, who will pity? Okay? You going along and you trying to get down with this whole Trump pump like it's for us, and it's not, man. And you don't find out the hard way. For while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. So as soon as your ass, when you doing all good, oh yeah, chuckling and slapping thighs, and rubbing arms and elbows and shit. But as soon as you start going down, that devil's up out of there. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. And this is a blood-soaked country, blood-stained history. Whose blood? You so-called natives, Latinos, and Negroes blood. And yet y'all still thinking that you gonna be equals on equal footing and get hey, you watch your goddamn mind. Okay? If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. So if some shit start going downhill, you can guarantee this devil gonna be the first one there trying to capitalize off it. Well shit, hey. He was alright anyway, but look at his record and look at all this and that. And yeah, especially if they can find out how to get something that you own or something they want that you had. All they gotta do is assassinate your character. And though he pretend to help thee, he shall undermine thee. That's what they do. This clown got undermined with his MAGA hat on. He would shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. In other words, he's gonna show you his true colors. And when he show you your true colors, you're gonna be looking like this clown.
Family, I was on TikTok live, and a fellow Trump supporter said that all he needed was my vote. I'll never be part of the MAGA family, and that I'm black. I'll never be accepted. But he just got my vote. Nah, that's crazy. Like, I love MAGA Nation. I love the MAGA family, and that breaks my heart that someone would speak to me like that right after the election.
And break his heart and all of this stupid shit. Y'all better wake the fuck up, man. Okay, it's time to wake your ass up. Because if you can't see what's about to happen, you won't be. You, your family, or loved ones, or whoever else with you is going to get caught off guard slipping hella bad, and it's not going to be in a favorable, you're not going to be in a favorable position when these things translate. And you're able to understand that it's going to be too late. And you're going to be looking like this clown. Hey, shit, you better be your Negro wake up call right now, because it's only going to get worse, man. Let's go. Peep this.
I could have been at the Great Turnberry in Scotland. I could have been anywhere I wanted to be. I could have had those waves smacking me in the face. I could have said, that white, beautiful white skin that I have would be nice and tan. I got the whitest skin because I never have time to go out in the sun, but I have that beautiful white. And you know what? I could have been at the Great.
I'm not saying anything wrong for that because, hey, what they recognize as racism is nationalism, you know? Nothing wrong with taking pride in your race and your look and what have you. You know, I'm not getting on that. But you got to understand, we're coming into the time where you're going to have to go ahead and make that choice now on which side you stand on. Because if you choose the other side, it's not going to end well for you. That's just a fact. That's a given. So
to address gun violence, we would be focusing on the people. I could have been at the.
Shit, I can tell you something. It's just a coincidence. Historical black college got destroyed in Knoxville, Tennessee. Knoxville College, founded in 1875, burned on Monday, November 4th. I'm just saying, you know, hey, I don't believe in coincidences. Straight up. So this is not by coincidence. This is intentional. And this is just the beginning, really, you know. Historical black college destroyed.
A plantation to send us back to a plantation. It's uncalled for.
A racist text message detailing plantations and picking cotton sent to Renee Glenn Bryant and her granddaughter in Detroit. Each was personalized with their names.
You have been chosen to pick cotton at your nearest plantation. Be ready at 10 a.m. with all of your personal items and possessions because you will never see them again.
Just a community away, Chisa Strickland of Lincoln Park receiving a similar text.
Our executive slaves will come get you in a brown van. Be prepared to be searched down once you enter the plantation. You're in Plantation Group D.
Executive slaves, cotton fields, plantations. I'm pretty sure they're directing this to a certain demographic of people. People like me. I hate it. I hate it.
These texts sent nationally in Ohio, D.C., Alabama, and right here in Michigan. Now, when you saw that you weren't the only one, I mean, what went through your mind?
More fear, nervousness. I didn't know what to expect. I wanted to know where it's coming from. That's what alarms me. Like, do these people know where I live? Who are you? Do you know where I live? How do I look? How did you know I was black?
The messages slightly different on details. The phone numbers spoofed to look local. The elephant in the room, these racially charged texts arriving shortly after the election.
I was pissed, to be honest, because I'm thinking that we already have this racial tension going on. This whole election has brought out different feelings in everybody. But to make it a plantation and make it look racial, then I'm pissed because I'm 68 years old. I mean, I've gone through and seen things, and my parents have seen things, and the last thing you want is something like this to happen.
Renee says if you received a text like this one, know that you are not alone.
A plantation.
Yeah, buddy. Telling you. Let me tell you something, man. This one right here. Yeah, her. Yeah, she talking about she's scared and she worried to have her address and all of that. How much you want to bet? This so-called black woman is single mother, divorcee, whatever you want to call her. Y'all are the most unprotected women on the planet. Why? Because I did the lesson. After that, after the election, what they do? Oh, we didn't win because black men wasn't voting, but then the votes showed that most black men voted for Kamala Harris. Yet, America's favorite punching bag got punched again. And the main one throwing the punches, you so-called Negro black women. All right? Yeah, you should be nervous and scared because all that shit that y'all talk and all of that, it's going to come back on you. And it's going to come back on you soon. Because if you got a real man up in that house, she might be a little nervous, but she be like, well, shit. And he be up there talking like, hey, man, they got it. Hey, man, shit, I ain't going to play. They come on with that bullshit. I'm going to act up. I'm going to blow their head and all of that. You don't have that, though. But, what goes around comes around. You know what I'm saying? Like a 7 and 10.
Your family, I was
going.
Let's
keep going.
Your family.
I could have been.
Oh my gosh.
I want to address gun violence.
Swinging a sword and pouring gasoline, this man is in some serious trouble after threatening his neighbor and a police officer. Jackie Gray walked out of her home to find a smoking gas can propped up against her property in Harris County, Texas. Homeowners say another house mysteriously caught fire soon after. And when the fire was put out at Gray's home, that's when that man, you see him, returns and pours more gasoline all over the driveway.
He actually started pouring it up underneath my truck. Then that's when he started pouring it all in front of the driveway and everything else. He was coming, with the sword kind of up in his hand, kind of like he was coming to charge at me. I'm like, oh, really? You coming after me with a sword?
Law enforcement identified Phi Lei Win as the accused sword-wielding arsonist after Gray says he swung his sword at them. In court, it was learned Win had a mental illness. He was given a total bond of $200,000 on felony arson, aggravated assaults, and other charges. Neighbors and swinging a sword and...
Somehow it wasn't racially motivated, though, because, whenever that happens, whenever something happens and Esau Edom is at the center of acting up or acting a certain way, what do? Oh, he had mental illness. It wasn't that. No, he loves everybody. It's just a mental illness. That right there was a hate crime. Okay, that was a hate crime. I don't care how you cut it, because if that person would have had a small ass hat on his head, and been from and been Israeli or something like that, then it would have been an issue. Oh, it was an anti-Semitic attack, or some shit like that. When we are the Shemites as well, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. So regardless of the matter, it would have just been, it would have been a whole nother approach to the situation. But I don't know if that was her husband or not. You know what I'm saying? That black woman, that brother that was, showing the wall, you know. But if you ain't got no man, this brother right here, I don't know if that's her husband or what. Most likely so, So hey, you ain't got no husband, and you see the things how things is heating up. Because once again, remember, I read about those text messages being sent. Like I read about it in the article first, right? Just like with the reparations, and then I found a video on it. But nonetheless, let me tell you something, man. All right, this is your wake up call right now, because these race wars, the civil war in general, all of these things are going to happen. All right. In times of great peril and stress and strain, people stick to their like. They stick to the people that look most familiar to them and talk the same language and share the same origins and roots. That's just by nature. All right. But nonetheless, this whole Trump situation is really, really putting a whole nother spirit out there. It got these Edomites feeling empowered again, right? Now, the next one I want to show you is another example. It says Minneapolis man charged with attempted murder after shooting black neighbor. Delayed arrest draws backlash. All right, that's the brother right there. Let's look at the video.
Cases high. That excuse sparking community out. This was a shocking moment caught on camera. Video obtained by our NBC affiliate Tier 11 shows David Montori trimming a tree outside his Minneapolis home Wednesday when, according to court documents, a bullet was fired from his neighbor's upstairs window. The bullet went down through my neck and then all the way back to my spine. Montori told NBC affiliate Tier 11 he's also recovering from broken ribs and a concussion. Adding, the last 11 months since he and his wife moved in, they've been living a nightmare next door to John Shawshak. Court documents show the victim called police 19 times prior to the shooting for incidents including harassment, hate speech, and verbal threats. It also says Shawshak suffers from mental illness. Shawshak has been charged with attempted murder.
All of this fucking mental illness excuse bullshit. And Jake, they be out here having mental illness for real. Oh no, that's a hate crime, or it's a crime. They bring up his past and all this. This nigga stole the candy bar and he was doing all this and that, and they use that to justify persecuting him further. But whenever Esau does, he got a mental illness. Yeah, nothing to see here. It's not racially charged, just a mental illness. You're right. You got a goddamn mental illness. You do. Something is literally mentally wrong with y'all devils, man.
But he is not in jail. Police allowing him to stay in his home because they say he's a threat to himself and others.
Damn.
The likelihood of an armed, violent confrontation where we may have to use deadly force with the suspect in the... This was a shocking moment caught on camera. Video obtained by our NBC affiliate Tier 11.
Let's go to the other part of this video.
Cases high. That excuse sparking community outrage.
We have to take violent criminals off the street. So I'm not a police officer. I don't know how that gets done, but I know it needs to get done.
Police say Shawshak rarely leaves his home, and the department has not set an arrest date. We are not going to bust the door down, guns blazing, and get into a deadly force situation. But we...
Look at this devil. We're not gonna bust the door down. But if it was a nigga that allegedly did some shit, y'all would be in his living room. Y'all would be on his head, got a gun to his head, motherfucker just eating ice cream and shit. We done seen it happen time and time again. This is nothing new. All right, we're just trying to show you something. If you really think that your ass is going to be on equal footing with this devil, especially now that Trump is back in, You got another thing coming to you. This your Negro wake up call.
Deadly force situation, but we will ensure the community will be safe.
Mattori says he feels the Minneapolis Police Department failed to protect his family by not arresting his neighbor when they needed them most. If you're saying you're scared, what does that do to me, you know? Like, you have this body armor, you have professional training. Dana Griffin, NBC News.
Cases high.
That excuse sparking.
All these jakes, y'all trying to, you know, I get it. You don't want to live around, you know, you don't want to live in the hood or certain areas you may have come up in because of violence or whatever it may be. Like, I get that shit, you know, but don't go try to live in these suburban neighborhoods where it's just a bunch of Edomites. You the only one, and you think you gonna call the police and they threat. You see, they didn't give a shit 19 times. They didn't give a damn. But if it would have been the other way around, let him call and say, this black man was looking in my window, or he was looking at me crazy, or I believe he might have possibly had a gun, or he said he was going, boy, they'll have a SWAT team there. They'll have all kind of investigations going. A helicopter might come flying over your shit. You know what I'm saying? Look, bro, stop trying to think that you're equal. This devil has an agenda. You're not only about to see it, you are about to feel it. You dig? You are about to feel it.
This was a shocking moment. I never trust gun violence.
I'll check this out right here. This might get my video pulled or something, but I don't care. Now we got Rumble, we got Bishop. What's up? Check this out.
I never trust gun violence. We would be focusing on the people who bring guns into communities and shoot people like where I live in Detroit, where you represent, Stephanie Shang.
And yes, it sounds fucked up because this devil is damn near finna suck on the goddamn microphone like it's a ride, dog. Well, it's a like sound like Plucky Duck talking. Back up off the fucking mic.
Be focusing on the people who bring guns into communities and shoot people like where I live in Detroit, where you represent, Stephanie Shang, which are overwhelmingly 13 to 34-year-old sub-Saharan African niggers. Those are the people who... Move on. I'm testifying. Thank you for your testimony. Yep, and I am the chair, and I have gaveled you down. So are there any questions from committee members? Armed guards, remove me. Armed men with guns, remove me. Are there any questions from committee members? Oh, I have. Senator Runstead.
Did I just hear you call a group of people by some epithet?
Yes.
And number two, the idea that this is aimed at white people. I know so many different groups from minority communities that are armed, that carry concealed. It's just a ridiculous argument.
Senator Johnson.
The term that you used is inappropriate, and it will not get you anywhere in this legislature.
Madam Clerk, could you read in the cards?
Regarding Senate Bills 857, 858, Patrick White representing himself opposed, and he provided written testimony.
Hey, and everything goes back to normal. Oh yeah, that's wrong. Now you shouldn't say that. Motherfucker didn't escort him. They didn't do a damn thing. Just well, hey, can't use that here. You're wrong. That is wrong, sir. All right. Now let it been somebody. Let it. You know, been a brother that was heated about him. You know, some Edomites that did something or real impassioned about it, and rightfully so. Hey, you would have got escorted up out of there. I'm trying to show you something, man. You are not equal to these devils. Do you understand? Ecclesiasticus 13 and 11. Affect not to be made equal unto him in talk, and believe not his many words. But with much communication will he tempt thee, and smiling upon thee will get out thy secrets. That's what they do. They do all of this talking like they your friend, and you know what I'm saying, and everything is all good. But they really have a motive, okay, an agenda. Once again, that persona. But cruelty, he will lay up. But cruelly, excuse me, he will lay up thy words, and will not spare to do thee hurt and put thee in prison. Hey, they will not hesitate to throw a brother in jail, man. Throw away the key over something small and give them all kind of crazy ass time or even put them to death and justify it, man. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep. Wake your goofy ass up. Because this is the reality of things, man. And this devil is about to come down with great wrath and show his true colors. And trust and believe that color is red, like that hat on that clown. That brother that got that MAGA hat on his damn head, man. They will not hesitate to shoot that shit off or knock it off and put it on their own and leave you in the dust. Hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not angry at all. That's the nature. You know, that's the nature, man. As history shows it. Love the Lord all thy life and call upon him for thy salvation. It didn't say, what does that call upon him for salvation? It didn't say nothing about go and, fight with them and try to get reparations, because reparations means to repair. Let me tell you something. You want the one that put you in this condition to repair you? You out your goddamn mind? You got to be, man. All right, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh and what do they have? Usually, when you see those suburban neighborhoods, hey, who's their neighbors? They're usually other Edomites. So when the so-called black man bring his family up in there, it's a problem. They calling, Karen calling on them all the time, calling the police. Yeah, this motherfucker just went so far as to just threaten them, keep threatening them with his old ass. He even shot the man from his goddamn window. Yo, this is getting for real. Y'all better wake up. What did it say? When thou hearest these things, awake in thy sleep. Wake your goat mouth ass up. You understand it? For the 9 quats. Like, no. This is 2024 going into 25. If you still don't get it, you are nothing but a target, man. All right? It says, all flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. Period. Don't go taking your ass in these nice neighborhoods, these big ass suburban. Hey, you got a couple dollars now. I want to move. I want to move where they at. For what? For what? You don't have to go move in a hood and shit and stay around. No, you can get a decent place. Look, man, get a nice little mixed area like where I live in or something like that, man. But you ain't got to go in the midst of this shit thinking that you're going to be cool. But at the same time, you ain't got to take that harassment either. All right? Because I ain't going to hold you up, man. Yeah, there'd have been some smoke behind that playing with mines, You would have got dragged out that house one way or another. Then the police would have showed up with enforcing the helicopter. This how crooked this place is. All right. It says, what fellowship has the wolf with the lamb? And who's the lamb? Who do you think the lamb is? Jake is so accepting. We've always been such an accepting people, and they took advantage of that every time. From the natives to the Latinos to the Negroes. That's been your downfall, right? But you could never come up and do that to them. Hell no. All flesh consorting to his kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly. What agreement is there between the hyena and the dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? And those elites, you got a couple of rich black people. Look, man, the majority of them are Edomites, man. And they don't even just have to be filthy rich. They are privileged in this society because it was built around their ideals and their morals for their people. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat the poor. As the proud hate humility, so do the rich abhor the poor. Rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends, but the poor man being down is thrust away by his friends. All right. So these devils, when they got a little money or even that privilege, that so-called white privilege, understand and believe this, that is going to get them further than it's going to ever get you, regardless of how much money you make. Do you understand that? That's never going to matter. Okay? Proverbs 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. Okay? So do you join hands with them and kick it with them, and y'all have some drinks and you known them for years and y'all go eat dinner at each other's houses and all. Damn all that shit. See, all of that is how shit used to be. The reality of it is now the true feelings is being exposed. And trust and believe it's only going to increase. It says, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered, right? And who are the righteous? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Negroes, or better yet, the elect of them. All right? You the ones that'll be delivered in that day. But only 1/3 of our people, okay? Out of 2/3, out of the whole 3/3, only 1/3 is going to make it. All right? Period. So it's time to wake your ass up right now. Not later. Not all right. Well, as soon as stuff start looking down, we're getting no. Now. All right. Now is the time. This nigga over here talking about he hurt his heart because they told his ass about, you know, you can't be official MAGA. All he needed was your vote. That's it. You don't need it. Boy, y'all niggas is something else, man. Genesis 25:23. This is going into Jacob and Esau. And Yahweh said unto her, right? Well, Genesis 3 and 15. I will put enmity. We might as well just go start at the top. Genesis 3 and 14. And Yahweh Shai said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast in the field. It says, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat upon all thy days, upon all thy life, and that dust is confusion. All right, this is Babylon. Babel means confusion. All right, this is their kingdom right now. The Lord has given it to them, but the kingdom to come is for us. And I'll bring that scripture out in a minute. It says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. And I shall bruise thy head, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Yeah, so that's always going to be them at the top and your ass at the bottom in this society. It says, that's part of them curses in Deuteronomy 28, where it says, you shall be subject to the lender, basically that he shall lend. Hey, you're not in a lending position. You are the individual that's just trying to make it through the day and keep your head low. But you know, them days is fleeting swiftly. Genesis 3 and 15. But the bullshit is gonna find you. It says, and I will put excuse me, Genesis 25 and 23, and Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people. So this is Jacob and Esau being in their mother's womb, right? Battling and fighting in her womb. Lord have mercy. It says, and the Lord said unto her, because she asked, why am I thus, Lord? It says, and Yahweh said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Okay? Hey, straight up, we've always been a stronger people because physically, mentally, spiritually, this has been known. Okay? This is why they love pumping those slave movies into the head. And not in the sense to show you what's going on and to put you up on game, but to show you, especially when they showed it in school, like, hey, this is your history. This is your only history, you know, because they want to feel they taught, you know, they teach their children that they are above you. Okay. Well, the whole time y'all just get along with everybody and just love them and just no. All right. You should be, you know, on your children, teaching them their true history, which is just Bible, just word, man. This is for us. This was created for our sakes. Deuteronomy 32 and 27. Were it not that I feared the wrath of the enemy, at least their adversaries should behave themselves strangely. At least they should say, our hand is high, and Yahweh hath not done all this. They not even acknowledging the Lord. They thinking they got us in derision because they're so powerful and mighty, and it's not true. So smart and talented, no. For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, and that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. They knew that we was going to be the new rulers in the world to come. They will comprehend that real quick, and they'll still be a proud devil, but they wouldn't further the affliction in the ways they've been doing since this place was conceived. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them and Yahweh had shut them up? Yeah, we were delivered into the hands of your hands for slavery, man. Because we kept turning away from the Heavenly Father and going and worshiping these other gods, man. For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. But their vine is that's the point in that, all right? So we are not, look, that's just part of these curses, man. Straight up. Proverbs 4 and 14, enter not in the path of the wicked and go not in the way of evil men. The evilest man is what y'all done jumped up here and put him in office. And hey, I'm glad he's in there over Kamala because he's going to get this shit started for sure, man. And he's getting rid of a lot of that very LGBTQ agenda that's been forced on our on our children. We're going to see how that goes, how long that keeps up. Proverbs 4 and 15, avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. And who was that some? It's going to start with you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, because while Biden has been in and all these liberals have been acting up and, wokeness been popping off, they've been losing sleep, man. You guys, hey, they was afraid to do all of that, the racial tensions will get to an all-time high, and then it'll come down real quick. But now that shit is just gonna keep peaking. It's just going to keep peaking. All right. But they can't even get no goddamn sleep unless they do some wicked shit to your ass. That's why they was taking away your sleep and terrorizing you in the night and all kind of shit with these white hoods so they can get a good amount of sleep. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. And that's a violent man. They love their guns. And they saw you niggas got all these rifles and guns. They didn't make it. They didn't manufacture it. Y'all did. Y'all put it and made it easy to get, put it in these hoods and these neighborhoods and on the streets and made it easily accessible. So you can justify killing us, taking us down. Psyop, right? Proverbs 4 and 18. But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day, right? And its truth is coming out. So that truth is a light, illumination, right? And it's coming out. The truth is coming out nonstop. Says the way of the wicked is as darkness. Why? Because they filled with lies and all kind of weird shit that if they saw the light of day, people would look at them strange, but they normalize it. And they keep it hidden because they know like pedophilia and all of that stuff that this devil is really heavy into. It's not natural, It's not natural, man. But that's why they passing these secret laws behind the scenes to legalize it. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. Right? They don't know what the fuck is going on, to be honest. You look at the look on these Americans. They don't know what the hell. These might don't know what the hell going on. All they know is they pocketbooks is getting lighter. All right. It says, Proverbs 11 and 21, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. I have to read that again. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come on to him. And guess what? This devil is going to be in a certain predicament before this is all said and done, and he's going to be in that predicament all through the rest of this wicked kingdom. Proverbs 14:11. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. It says, he that is soon angry dealeth foolishly, and the man of wicked devices is hated. Everybody knows about that. Even my red man's history. And to be honest with you, because he's in rulership, they give him a pass and they envy him. Right? You're not supposed to envy a wicked man and covet his what he has. But that's what they do, you know. It says the poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich hath many friends, right? So the way this kingdom is carrying on right now is coming to a swift end. Okay? This is Ecclesiastes 7 and let's jump down 7 and 13. Consider the work of the Most High, and who can make it? And who can make that straight which hath been made crooked? The devil was made into a crooked individual. You're not gonna come along and just get him to reform and change and shit. That's not happening. It's in his spirit. It's in the DNA to be this wicked. In the day of prosperity, be joyful, but in the day of adversity, consider. The Most High also have set the one over against the other to the end that man should find nothing after him. Damn. So the Heavenly Father set it up to be like this. We didn't do that, but see, 2/3 of our people is failing to realize that. They are killing each other and tearing each other up because you falling victim to that psyop. It was set up for you to do this, man. And here we are, while they picking you apart. And these race wars, that's what they're gonna specialize in doing, man. It says in Isaiah 13 and 14, and it shall come to pass as the chase row, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee one into his own land. It's a normal thing. That's the reality. Y'all niggas has been so deprogrammed. You just are hurt and sad and shit because you just want to be accepted by these devils in this society so bad, you know? And it's a joke, man. It is a joke. Hold on. I had to show this video right here. Integrating into a burning house. Check this out.
Last thing Dr. King ever said to me, 5 days, as a matter of fact, before he was murdered, was he was at my home. We just finished a strategy meeting on the Poor People's Campaign. And he seemed quite agitated after what we thought was a very successful gathering and discussion. And he said to me, I said, what's the matter, Mark? You seem very agitated. He said, well, I am. But I've come upon a thought that I don't know how to deal with at this moment. I said, well, what is it? He said, we fought long for integration. It looks like we're going to get it. I think we get the laws. He says, but I'm afraid that I've come upon something I don't know quite what to do with. I'm afraid that we're integrating into a burning house. And when we asked for further clarification, Andy Young was with me at that time, my wife, others. He said, America's lost whatever little moral vision it had. Its moral sense has run away from the nation. And a nation that is not governed by morality and moral principles is a nation that's headed for an abyss. And I think black people have been struggling to get into this system. Maybe getting into a system that in the final analysis is a Sodom and Gomorrah will not work. Because its selfish goals, its need for profit, its need for supremacy, its need to be the best has clouded its moral vision. And with no moral vision, no nation can be healthy enough to lead its people anywhere except to destruction. Last thing Dr. King ever said to me.
Yeah, because, you know, you can tell that the last speech Martin Luther King gave, he knew that he led his people into, like you said, a burning building. I fear I led my people into a burning building. Yeah, because all of that, I have a dream and all that, that was a speech written by Stanley Levinson, which is a Jewish man. That wasn't his speech. He just read it and it went from there. And after they was done with him, what they do? They put him in the ground because he started trying to wake up and bring the facts. Come on now. This is the reality of the situation. Even Martin Luther King realized he fucked up.
5 days, as a matter of fact, before he was murdered. When he was at my home, we just finished a strategy meeting on the Poor People's Campaign. And he seemed quite agitated after what we thought was a very successful gathering and discussion. And he said to me, I said, what's the matter, Martin? You seem very agitated. He said, well, I am. But I've come upon a thought that I don't know how to deal with at this moment. I said, well, what is it? He says, we fought long for integration. It looks like we're going to get it. I think we get the laws. He says, but I'm afraid that I've come upon something I don't know quite what to do with. I'm afraid that we're integrating into a burning house. And when we asked for further clarification, Andy Young was with me at that time, my wife, others. He said, America's lost whatever little moral vision it had. Its moral sense has run away from the nation. And a nation that is not governed by morality and moral principles is a nation that's headed for an abyss. And I think black people have been struggling to get into this system. Maybe getting into a system that in the final analysis is a Sodom and Gomorrah will not work. Because its selfish goals, its need for profit, its need for supremacy, its need to be the best has clouded its moral vision. And with no moral vision, no nation can be healthy enough to lead its people anywhere except to destruction.
And this country wasn't established on morals and righteous principles.
Last thing Dr. King ever said to me.
All right. This conception, the way even, the way they even, got their hands on this place from the Native Americans was wicked as hell. Then brought the so-called Negroes here to serve in chattel slavery. Like, come on, man. This place was built to be wicked. Okay? And I got one more scripture. We're going to call this a wrap. Two more. Well, let's see. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, which is the Most High, until he be taken out the way. Who's going to be taken out the way? Esau, Edom's going to be taken out of rulership. It says, and then shall the wicked, because Esau, Edom is the wicked that the Bible refers to. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. If not, who? And he covereth the faces of the judges thereof, right? If not, where and who is he? Well, we see who runs the world. Esau, Edom does. Not China, not all these other, no. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man does. And this is a fact. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, right? Because ultimately the Most High is going to have them destroyed and taken out of rulership. And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. What's that coming? The coming of the Lord, the second coming of Yahweh Shai. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. And that's how they keep this place going. The power of signs and lying wonders, telling you lies. Everything is a lie in this place, man. Everything is a spectacular lie. And a lot of the vast majority of people are caught up in that lie and romanticize into thinking that this place is actually righteous and it's far from it. And with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved. They not going to be saved. They can't. Esau, Edom can't be saved. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. 2 Thessalonians 2:11. And this cause the Most High shall send them strong, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. And thinking that you was going to be on equal footing with this devil is a straight up lie, man. And all they are that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. And that's all it is. Vast majority of people have that pleasure in unrighteousness. That's why they want to be equal and they want to keep this place going. Revelation 12 and 9, and the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent, Esau is that old ass serpent, all right, from the Garden of Eden, called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. Hey, was one of the ways they deceived the whole world. Oh, well, these are the Jews. These are real Jews over here, and they are not. But synagogue of Satan, right? Yeah. It says, he was cast out of the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. No, that's talking about Satan. It doesn't. No, it's not. You understand? Satan has a people, just like if we are the Lord's people, the Israelites, all right? Satan has a people too. Esau, Edom. He can work through them, and that's why we call him Diablo, the deceiver, all right? Because they lie, deceive. It's just in that history, bloodstained history that they have. This is all facts. It says, Revelation 13 and 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, and he who killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And who are the saints? All right, I think that's Psalms 148:19. All right, the saints are the children of Israel. Okay, so this is just period, point blank. This is the reality of the situation. Whether you want to accept it or not, it doesn't matter. But the more it becomes painfully relevant or painfully um, understandable to you, the worse condition you're going to be in. Like I said, wake up. The time to wake up is now. All right. Come out of my people. So with that, I pray you will edify. Till the next time. I bid you shalom.